So the original plan was to make a full-length iPhone XR review, like everything about it. But then I thought to myself, there were already so many videos out there covering basically everything we know about this phone. Why repeat that? Hence this non-cliché pros and cons video, where I'm just gonna fly through the things we already know about iPhone XR, then focus on the thing that's less talked about, but still affect how the phone performs in everyday life. First, let's focus on the bright side. What's good about iPhone XR? For the cliché part, first thing we have is display. Relatively low res, but still first class in basically everything else. Then it's camera. Excellent still quality and best of the best video capture. Speakers, dual setup that actually got some bass. Battery life, easily a 1-day battery, even 2 if you're not a heavy user. Performance, A-series chip still rules. And of course, the colors, more choices. So the first pro that's worth mentioning is this little guy. I don't know if you can see it. This is a dual SIM slot, and it is only available in Chinese markets. It's a dual-sided SIM card tray. There's this clip thing that prevents the SIM card on this side from falling. I actually was very surprised that Apple would go as far as customizing a modular SIM card design just to please the customers in China. But then again, they kinda have to because eSIM is a no-go in China. This may not be a big deal in markets like the US, but in China, this is a must for pretty much any phone in 21st century. Before this, some people even got 2 iPhones just to use 2 different numbers. And for me, limiting to just one SIM has always been a deal breaker. And for so many years, we were speculating, more like praying for iPhones to add dual SIM functionality. And it finally happened in 2018. So I think that's a pro, at least in China. The second thing is actually written in big letters on Apple's website, but few people are talking about this. I don't know if you guys have noticed, iPhone has always had this tendency of skipping the most popular storage config. Like iPhone 7 skipped 64, iPhone 8 and 10 and this year's iPhone skipped 128. Obviously, they did this to force us to pay for the more expensive but usually not needed extra capacity. Luckily, XR has 128 models. It's weird that storage configuration can be an advantage, but it's Apple we're dealing with, so what did you expect? And what about the cons? What is there that I don't like about iPhone XR? Well, first is the name. I mean, iPhone XR, XS, XS Max, what the hell are these? Then it's the charging. It's 2019 and Apple still isn't including any fast charging tool in the box. And the bezels are thick as the Great Wall. Lack of 3D touch, not everyone uses it, but some do. And lastly, the price. Even $50 cheaper would be so much better. There is actually only one hidden con about iPhone XR. It's the signal strength, or the lack of it. Before iPhone XR, it never occurred to me that signal strength could be an issue on any smartphone. I experienced several times that it's just giving me 0 bar, and toggle on and off the flight mode may solve it. Other times it will show this full strength signal reception, but there's actually no internet. For the record, 99% of the time none of this would happen, but when it does, it could get very painful. Can you imagine missing an important business call just because of this? This is definitely not something we should see on a high-end or any phone. I mean, a smartphone should do well as a phone before everything else, right? The most common explanation is that it's because of the Intel modems that Apple switched to this year, and others say it's that the antenna design is to blame. But either way, it's a hardware problem, so I don't expect Apple to address this anytime soon. Just make 100% sure that this won't happen to 2019 iPhones. Well, I guess it's time for some verdicts. iPhone XR is no doubt a good phone. Yes, there are numerous weaknesses, but none of them is fatal. The way I see it, iPhone XR is the most all-round high-end phone that you can get without paying a ridiculous price. To me, this is a perfect deal. That's why I bought it to be my daily driver. The real question comes down to if you think that it's worth the price. And this is a question only you can answer. And so that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.